I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Welcome to Make It Happen. My name is Pamela Wright, host and producer. Today, I don't have any announcements right now, so be prepared for next time on my next show. But I have a nice guest here, very interesting. I ran into her over at Consumer Protection, DEP. Not DEP, but Consumer Protection. Oops, sorry about that. Over at the State Office Building. Anyway, she was interviewing a Spanish woman talking about the Spanish, what they do over there at Consumer Protection, which they have, some complaints and everything. But anyway, let me go on. She actually is a volunteer of 10 years, and there was a show called Analeh, a public affairs program. If I mispronounce this, I know she will correct me. Anyway, her name is Ana Alfaro. Hey, I got the Spanish. I'm trying to get the Spanish going on. And just wondering, have you ever watched TV and you turn to the channel and you watched a Spanish channel? And I found it very, very interesting. If you ever took Spanish, you can pick up on some of the words. But I want to introduce you to Miss Analeh. She has her own television show right here in Hartford, over at, I guess, in Hartford, and just go ahead. Columbia Boulevard?
Thank you, gracias.
Yeah.
The show airs in Univision, right on Columbus Boulevard.
Yes.
It's the Univision station. I'm really, thank you so much for inviting me, and you're right, we did connect at the Consumer Protection the day I was filming about the great work that they do and the important work and the important news that our communities need to be informed. So I do appreciate your follow-up and having me here today.
Yes, I also noticed there was another particular Spanish-speaking woman, and she was talking about, do you remember what she was talking about, the different complaints and whatnot that she was saying?
Right, the different complaints they had at the Consumer Protection, with housing, some of the housing issues, some of the contractors, problems with contractors. And it was just mainly for our Latino community to be aware of the services of the Consumer Protection and how helpful they could be. And a lot of us, as you know, we hear of Consumer Protection, we hear of all the different agencies, but we do not really know exactly what they do. So being informed, and I always say being informed, taking action, it has to be a top priority for us, and which is part of what we do in this show, Show de Analeh.
And your show basically touches base on the Latino community.
Right.
Yes, which gives a lot of information pertaining to health and various entertainers, right?
Right. The show, Pamela, the show started 7 years ago. 7 years ago.
Yes.
I stopped there for a moment because I said, okay, 7 or 6. I was going to say 7. Actually, 7 years when we started with the idea, and it took us almost a year and a half, with the production team and Capital Community College and Univision to really like you said, make it happen. A
Yes,
perfect show,
yes.
a perfect name for your show, to make it happen.
Yes.
And be able to be on the air. So we've been on the air 6 years. The show airs every Saturday at 11 a.m.
Right.
And it also airs in Telefutura, which is the station, sister station of Univision that covers down New Haven and
Wow,
down the other
yes.
part of the state. So we do reach our Latino community in all of Connecticut, Central Connecticut, and Western Massachusetts.
That's a lot.
With an array of different topics, and all the topics are, like you mentioned, related to health, education, politics, public policy.
Yes.
We cover a lot, of local talent. Pretty much anything that that will be important for our community to be informed, for our community to shine. I call it brillando en tu casita, brillando contigo, shining with you,
Okay.
which is really what we our goal is, to make sure that everyone is informed, everyone is shining with the information and taking action.
Right. And speaking of health, as I was on the website, I noticed that you were had a clip of Mario Lopez dealing with the help, and he wrote a book, which I like to bring next time, talking about health, because I am trying to focus on my health and trying to reach out to the other people about health issues. And I know you're going to have an upcoming show too pertaining to health issues.
Yeah, Revolución de Nutrición is a cooking segment, and we partner with Hartford Hospital,
Okay.
with Sina, and we actually have the Billings Forge kitchen, and the chef there prepare healthy meals. And again, all about health is important.
Yes.
It does prevent a lot of health issues,
Yeah.
the diabetes, the
Yes,
high
definitely.
blood pressure, all of that, that lead to a more serious health issue. So we are covering many different segments on that. We also are covering now, with the new law of the Access Health Connecticut, the Obamacare.
Yes.
We have covered a lot of informational sessions on how all of us that do not have insurance could now have access to health insurance, and how accessible it is. And so basically, these kinds of topics and themes and people, and just to be able to, like what you do, make it happen, be
Yes.
inform our community. I always find that no matter how much we hear it or how many times it's repeated, we have to say it again,
Yes,
say
yes,
it again.
definitely,
And
definitely.
eventually it will get to the person, a person's attention, because we're all very busy.
Oh, very, very busy.
We have a lot
Yes,
going on.
Too much
and
going on.
Exactly, too much going on,
Yes.
Pamela. And so, as you know, we might hear something today, but okay, it tunes out quickly. But then maybe next week I hear Pamela saying it, right, on her
Right,
show.
yes,
And then I heard that maybe Ana Alfaro said it on her show, and then other producers, other people that are in this media, and we keep telling this story. And then it really does hit the person that needs to receive it, and that's when the change comes. So it takes a lot of us to really make, our community informed.
Oh, okay. Now, can you tell the people out there how you got started into doing your own show?
Oh, that's a great question. I know one that really
Yes.
brings me back for a good 15 years or so. I started as a volunteer,
Right.
and which is another passion of mine, volunteerism. I always, tell the young people you have to volunteer, no matter in what cause or what it is that you're interested in, but volunteer. And somehow or another, I moved here from the Bronx.
Oh, really?
Almost
Oh, my
20 years
goodness.
plus ago, and I used to see the only show that I would see, like around 6 a.m. was a Spanish show that would air on Channel 30 NBC,
Okay.
Adelante. And I thought to myself, gee, I think I would like to do that someday, and how would I be able to do so? And so it's just one of those things, you think about it, think about it.
Oh,
It just
definitely.
stays in you, right? And then one day I was at a community event, and I met the host of the Adelante show, the Serenalda Pleasant, who I would see all the time in my house, and her presenting the show. So I did ask her, how could I do what you do? And she said, well, no problem. Just get me your information, and we'll see if we could invite you as a volunteer. And then the rest is history. I produced and hosted Adelante along with other volunteers. There were a good 20 of us on the board that were producing shows for a good 15 years. And it's a good 8 years that we said, a few of us said, our community is ready for more, is ready for a weekly show, is ready for more information, is ready for a show that's not only just in studio, but we could bring it out. We could invite people from the community too. We could go to Park Street, we could go to Willimantic, we could go to Waterbury and just bring the cameras, bring
that's fantastic,
have us come there, to them. And so basically that's really what we currently do too, not only just the studio, which we film at Capital Community College with the students and the crew there, and all the media department staff, which they are wonderful. Thanks to them, I think the show is on the air, otherwise it would be very difficult. And so, we have a mix. We're able to do that. So that's how I started.
Oh, wow.
That's how I started. And
good.
It's practice.
Yes, practice.
The passion.
Yes, of course.
And just making it happen.
Yeah. And everybody has their own particular way of, hosting their own show.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you do a lot of community involvement, like you said. And actually, you're volunteering in various nonprofit organizations in Hartford. Also, the Artists Collective, you mentioned.
I'm on the board of the Artists Collective.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. And Conference of Churches, which is really wonderful. First Night of Hartford, did you attend this year?
I did not attend this year. I have served on the board of First Night Hartford a good 7 years, and my term ended. But there's some wonderful people there. It's a great event to celebrate the new year in downtown Hartford. It's always a challenge with the cold.
Yes, definitely.
There's some years, I remember one year it was like 0 degrees. Not many people came out.
I don't come
so
out.
this right, no, we don't come out. So it's always a challenge. But First Night Hartford is a great event. Yeah. So I served on the board there many years.
Yes, and it's very interesting to have your crew come out with you, and a great experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Great experience.
Absolutely.
And also let me mention that, let me mention a couple other things. The Greater Hartford Chamber of Commerce, you volunteer Hartford Public Library, and the Honduras Relief Committee, in which you're from Honduras, right? You're native?
Honduras.
Yes.
That's my native country,
wow.
From Honduras, Centroamérica. Estoy aquí como 40 años en los Estados Unidos. I've been here about 40 years from Honduras. So, yeah, Honduras Relief Committee, we actually started that committee. I don't know if you recall Hurricane Mitch. It's been like 19, oh my goodness, 19. Yeah, so we a lot of the people from Honduras that live here, we started that committee back then to help the people that went through that devastation of Hurricane Mitch.
Yeah, it's very nice to help one another.
Oh, absolutely, Pamela. Yes.
Yeah, and you also served as a member of the Governor M. Jody Parole and Sentencing Task Force. What was that like, real quick?
Well, it was quite an experience for me. The first question that I asked when I was invited, why me? I'm not really, in the law enforcement field, but this was a situation in the case back then that they needed someone who's involved in the community. They didn't need someone that was an expert in the law enforcement. They had people in that task force that had that role, but they needed the thinking, the connection of the community, and how this task force was going to help the community. So it was very interesting task force.
Wow, that is good. Now, how many people are on your team?
We have, I would say that the entire team of the production of Analeh is about 20 people.
Wow,
we all come
that's a lot of
together
people.
at different times. When we film in the studio, we have the students, usually a crew of about 10 people. And as you know, production is very involved. It takes a lot of people to make it happen. Not
Yes,
just
it does.
one or
It
two.
does.
And if you want to make it really involved and
Yes, you need a lot of people.
a lot happening, you need a lot of people. We also have, the show has a youth segment, Youth Academy.
Yes.
So it's part of what for me is important to cultivate and help the talent of the young people
Yes,
that want
of
to be on
course.
camera,
Yes.
so that when they are ready and they go to the academic, the college, they want to be journalists and they want to be on TV, they already have the experience of doing it. Because I find that just like everything we do, you know, we have to have the experience, the practice. And so if we start the young people at a young age, when they are really interested and they have that passion inside, and really by having them present their own segment, produce their own segment, they are able to find that inner talent and passion they have to be on the camera, and then project it and practice it and make it happen. And so we work with about 4 young people that are now practicing. They on TV, and you know,
Great, that's
if
wonderful.
you see them the first time, you'll say, "Wow!" You know, you could tell it's their first time. You see them by the 10th time, they are like a pro.
Yeah.
And so, you know, combined is a good 20 people that we have.
Okay. So when did your youth program start now?
The youth segment is within the show. And so there are shows that merit having a youth thinking about the topic, and that's when we involve a young host to interview maybe another young person and make part of the same topic that we're covering. I think that a lot of the topics on education are, you know, do merit having the young people. So I have a young host, Freddie or Ida, and they are the ones that produce their piece with their young people and then bring that young perspective to the show.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back with Analeh, okay? With Make It Happen.
Hi, I'm Janice Fleming, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
At Hartford Public Schools, we care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.
We're back, yes. And thank you for joining me again for Make It Happen. And I was talking with my guest, Ana Alfaro of the Show de Analeh. Hey, anyway, welcome again. And we were talking about your youth academy, and you were telling people about the various kids that were there in your production, the people that are in production, which you need more than one person. You're saying you had 20 people, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's about 20 of us come together at different times. We have a couple of editors that we work with. We have camera, Efren Adams and Irvin Rivera, my main camera.
Oh, yes.
Technicians go out with me when we do on location work. Pedro Rivera's my editor. We have Henry Vivar, the other editor. And so we have, and most of the people that I work with in the production have graduated or are currently attending Capital Community College. And this has been, I think, the win-win of this partnership, because, you know, the young people, the people that are enrolled in media at Capital Community College are able to have a production they could practice, that they could do the hands-on, that they could, to go through that emotion of saying, okay, we are on the air, we're going to be filming. and you know, the camera is rolling and all that excitement that I'm not the only one that feels it, and the nerves, but
Yeah, you do
they
feel the
do
nerves.
too.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
they do too, because they are an important part of our production. You know, if it wasn't for them, you know,
Yeah.
we just bring a certain talent to what we are doing, but we need them, so we need a team, and then the youth academy, as I mentioned, is another way of
Reaching
my
out to
own
Yes.
my own interest and sort of role in life, and God's, you know, calling for me is to also be able to, you know, give to the young people what I have
Right.
been able to do. I learned this work that I do on the TV because someone gave me the opportunity, because there was an Adelante on Channel 30 that volunteers that were interested in doing that had the opportunity to do so, and so the show of Analeh, El Show de Analeh, is helping, is doing that today, because you know we find some of the stations are not doing that.
Yeah.
And so it's always important to be able to help others that they are interested in this field. So that's really another passion of mine, especially with the young people.
Now, this is the only TV station that does reach out to the Latino community, right?
Univision is the only station currently that has a community program, which is El
Which
Show
is
de
good.
Analeh. Yes, and I know that other stations, Channel 30, I believe, has some community segments, but they do not have the public affairs programs they didn't anymore. And so, you know, I think, Pamela, that's another situation too. You know, how the generation, in terms of the evolution of TV, back then it was probably a lot easier to have a community program. Now, programming is more, you know, marketable. It needs to market. You know, gotta sell it. You know, we all gotta sell our product because you know we have to. TV is not what we call it inexpensive.
No,
so,
it's not.
So we have to, you know, we have to also market it. But it seems now, you know, is a lot more of other shows that are really gaining the market, and so the community programming is not as marketable, but it's important.
Yeah. And speaking about your youth program, as you mentioned, it's nice to have the younger generation learn about this technology, about being in front of the cameras, because when I was going back to school, we never had this. And the kids are really, I think they're really doing better than what we were nowadays, because they have all this, that they can go to school for journalism and, you know, start.
We didn't have that.
Yes.
We did not have it. And even if I thought back in my high school years that I might be, you know, that I might have this talent, or that I have this inner passion in me about doing production, television production, but there wasn't anyone there to really find it and say, Ana, you know, you have it, or you know, come to this program and we'll get you on camera, we'll help you out. You know, there was none of that. So. But it's never too late, because you know, I was able to make that happen, you know, in my late 20s, early 30s, and so it's never too late.
And also, you were talking about earlier, we are busy people. You have 2 kids too, also.
Yeah, I have my son
and your daughter,
Bobby, and my daughter Bianca. They both are wonderful, wonderful kids. They graduated from my son graduated from UConn, my daughter from Quinnipiac, and they both doing great. You know, my son is out in New York trying to figure out, you know, his whole world, or you know, what is out there for him, and my daughter is in California, and she just graduated from a second degree in nursing, so she's now a nurse, and so proud of both of them, you know.
Okay, so neither one.
Because it's not easy for the young people today to, you know, they finish college and you know the jobs are not there. They have to kind of find their own path, and many times they have to leave the state to find that path and the careers that are, you know, that they need.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And neither one of your kids wanted to go into the media field, huh?
No, they did not. My daughter thought maybe at some point, but no, her whole career took her somewhere else, and she's in health and nursing.
And that's pretty good too.
And my son is in sports. You know, he
Okay.
played football at UConn, and he's I say he's a football guru, and that's what he does in New York.
Wow. Okay. Got a question about health. For the let's see, the health segment that you had on your program earlier, did that change any of your lifestyle? You know, did you ever read Mr. Lopez's book?
Mr. Lopez's book, actually, you know, his interview was very, very good. I thought, you know, it was very inspiring how he talked about, and he is the reason why he wrote the book, is how he had to change his whole lifestyle about eating and exercise, you know, cooking healthier, eating healthier, exercising. And so, yeah, I think that not only what Mario Lopez, you know, his message and how it helped him sort of turn his whole life around in terms of health, you know, and eating better and exercising, but other shows, other topics that we cover around health and the testimonials of some of the people that come to the show, that share their testimonials on, you know, if they could have done this differently health-wise, they would have done better. You know, we had a show I always remember with Dr. Barba, which was, you know, the operations, you know, for someone to have that stomach operation if they obese and they have the operation,
the lap band or something,
the lap band, and how, you know, some of the testimonials and how that operation changed some of the people's life. The ones that I was able to connect with and interview and have the conversation about their life experience did not have any problems, but we know that there has been some problems. Yeah.
As you notice, I had to change the subject around to back to health,
right?
Because health is very important. Like
it
I
is
said,
very important.
And somebody had mentioned the lap band, but I'm not too sure about some of these operations. I don't think it's good for your health.
It's better to do the prevention, exercise, eat healthier. You know, just watch what you eat, and it's amazing what we think is healthy in the day of what we eat, and it might not be. Because I catch myself many times, you know, wanting to eat a meal that might not be as healthy, that is high in calories, high in fat, and
definitely.
And I think we once a week maybe, but every day we need to just be careful. And the exercise, that is important.
Wow. And what I want to do is I want to touch on a little bit of your awards that you've done. Yeah.
Thank you,
your Bright
Pamela.
Future Youth Center award that you got in 2009.
Yes.
Wow, that was good. Al Rojo Vero, please correct me if I'm wrong. And the, let's see, Achievement Award, the Connecticut Puerto Rican Forum, 2007.
The Connecticut Forum, great organization. They do a lot of workforce development and
and International Women's Day, Connecticut Immigrants, Hispanic Professional Network, and Multiple Sclerosis Society. Wow. Maria Sanchez Community Leader, and more.
Right.
The Maria Sanchez Community Leader of the Year, that was in 1997, but still, these are fantastic.
And you know what? That was my
awards.
first award.
Really?
And that was my first award, and I would cherish that award forever because I never thought that that I was deserving of an award like that. I was just doing the work,
never know.
you know, doing what I was there to do and help the community. But and Maria Sanchez is, as we all know, you know, she's a woman that did so much for this community in the early years, you know, when the community was.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
to
Maria
me.
Sanchez was a state rep. So
Yes.
a mentor that I think we all have in Maria Sanchez even today. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Actually, what I want to do is talk a little about switching gears on your upcoming shows, and you're doing celebrating and connecting music and politics. Pretty soon, that'll be coming up
That's
shortly.
coming up next Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because I always produced a Valentine show, but then I said,
Okay.
well, you know what, I really want to give it a different twist. You know, I was trying to figure out, okay, last year we covered on the Valentine show, we did a speed dating, you know, how
speed
people
dating.
meet.
Okay.
So this year I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do for this Valentine? So I switched gears. Andy is a very well-known Latino from Dominican Republic singer, and he's very romantic bachata singer. And then we also have, and where the politics comes in is because we do have a new segment which is produced by Luis Cavan.
Okay.
And he's very involved with public policy and politics. And so the name of the segment is Café con Luis. Okay. So we're going to mix some of the Café con Luis public policy and then the Andy and a local singer, Tony Infantas. He sings beautiful romantic music. Ooh. And so that's the mix of that show, and that airs next Saturday on the 15th of February.
Oh, okay. And also February 22nd, Understanding, let's see, XP.
Xeroderma pigmentosa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
another
rare
health, very rare skin disease. And one for me is an incredible woman. Her name is Fatima Perez.
And she's going to talk about her experience?
She lives with Xeroderma pigmentosa. We have a Dr. Orellana that talks also about, you know, the history of the skin disease. And she started a foundation to help others that have that rare skin disease. Oh, wow. Yeah. So those are my upcoming shows.
Oh, and you're doing a very beautiful job. And it's almost my time is almost up. And I love and I enjoy talking to you.
Thank you, Pamela. I do too, and I do congratulate you for what you are doing, because I know what it is to be able to come and sit and put this together, and the research you have to do, and your passion that goes into it. So congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. I want to tell everybody out there to watch Analeh. Actually, it's El Show de Analeh, okay, with Analeh Alfaro, okay. My Spanish is not that good, everybody, but you know, I'm trying it. And her shows, like she said, is 11 o'clock Saturday, channel 18, okay. You can also catch it on YouTube, and you can go into a website, because I typed Analeh Show, and you get her contact information and what she's doing, and her foundation, and her schedules, and everything that she has coming up for the couple of months that she has. You're really good at that. And actually, would you like to give people your website and just say something real quick?
Sure, Pamela. Yeah. Thank you again. I'm very grateful for the invitation and the opportunity to be here with you and share, you know, this story with your audience as well. And welcome everyone to visit me. My website is www.analehshow.com. And as you said, you know, the clips are on YouTube under the Analeh channel, and also in the website.
Okay. Oh, wow. Would you like to say anything in Spanish at the end?
Muchísimas gracias por estar conmigo. Gracias, Pamela. Y tú sabes, tú me preguntas en español, yo sigo, habla y habla, ¿no? Y muy agradecida con todos, toda la audiencia latina. Y también no latina, muchos americanos siguen mi programa, personas como tú, así que muchísimas gracias.
I caught some of it. Gracias, Analeh.
Gracias.
Okay. So join me next time on Make It Happen. And thank you for watching.